here's what we've learned in the last couple of years. We've learned that the media, broadly, the elite media, as I generally call it, but it's the New York Times and it's CNN, the corporations, but it's more than corporations. It's a group of people who all live in Brooklyn and DC, who tend to be politically liberal, who all went to the same schools. By the way, one reason they hate me is because I went to one of those schools, right? So I'm a traitor.
And you work for the New York Times.
And I worked for the New York Times. So I'm a class traitor, okay? They have engaged in the last several years in a coordinated effort to sort of present stories in a way that I don't think ever really happened before 2016, before Donald Trump was elected. So these people, when Trump beat Hillary, it was a shock to the system. They couldn't believe that America had betrayed them this way. And there's a famous Onion headline from 2015. The Onion is always the best. And the headline was something like, Hillary Clinton tells America, don't fuck this up for me. Right? And there was this sort of idea there was going to be this baton death march where it was going to end with our first female president. God help it. It didn't matter that no one on earth liked her. She was going to be the president. And it didn't work out that way. And these people decided, if this country is stupid enough to elect Donald Trump, we can't trust it, and we better work together to make sure nothing like this ever happens again. So you saw really coordinated stories about how Russia had elected Trump, which turned out to be complete nonsense. And then, Mueller was going to take Trump down. And they, I don't know whether they had actual meetings over that stuff. But when COVID came along in 2020, they did have actual meetings. There was something called the Trusted News Initiative, okay? The Trusted News Initiative was a group of organizations, which I think at the time actually didn't initially include Twitter, which is sort of interesting. It included Facebook and the Washington Post and the BBC and Reuters and a lot of other news organizations. And it was, we're going to combat misinformation together, okay? This was a mistake. News organizations should not be working with one another to set the agenda, okay? They're better when they're independent, chasing their own stuff.
All right, so that was a clip from Joe Rogan's Instagram page that I pulled. I don't know where that full video is, but anyway, welcome to Mika React Reviews, where we react review to things on the internet. Same day, same shirt, different video. So we saw the clip, I reacted to a video with Bill Maher, talked about the evolution and the change when it came to journalism. At some point, journalists were just from working class families. So they lived in the same communities and in neighborhoods as the working class. So it was more like journalists was the voice of the people, and they understood the working class mindsets and their wants and their needs and their desires. And so journalism at some point was more about getting the truth to the everyday average little guy and kind of sticking it to the man a little bit, right? And maybe it was even biased, but it was biased more in the favor of the public, the citizens, right? You need this information. Then at some point it changed, because being a journalist almost became a sort of vanity job. It became a job of prestige, right? And so all the journalists went from being from working class families to being from prestigious families, or middle class, upper middle class, or higher class families, where they no longer intermingled with the working class. They didn't understand the working class, they didn't understand their mindset or what their wants, needs, and desires are. They became more of a mouthpiece for the other elites around them, right?
Suddenly people who wanted to become famous, who wanted to be a big deal, who wanted to have high status, they started considering becoming journalists. By the 80s and 90s, journalists were much more affluent, more liberal than Americans overall. It's these liberal elites who have these, vanity morals that they often impose on the working class, things like defund the police, that actually hurts working class Black Americans more than anybody else. 81% of Black Americans oppose it. I mean, who bore the brunt of the lockdown burdens? It was the working class.
Yes.
Rich people sat at home and they turned being at home into a virtue when actually it was a sign of economic privilege.
Right.
We also talked about, from reacting to the Sam Harris rant, when he basically kind of told the truth about how elite progressives sees the rest of the world, where they truly feel like they're smarter than you. And like he even sort of expressed that on the Joe Rogan clip where he was like, the American people betrayed us by, electing Donald Trump because they're so stupid. So we need to take control because we're better than them, we're smarter than them. We have these prestigious educations, and so we know what's best, not just for society and for culture and for the future. We know what's best for you, and we know what's best for your kids. And so we will take control by any means necessary. And if that means, being corrupted when it comes to journalism, when it comes to telling you the truth, when it comes to telling you just the news and the facts, then we are going to do that, right? We are going to slant media. I don't think media working together is something really that new, but maybe it just became more obvious, more apparent. And it probably, the means justify the ends. They really probably feel like they're doing something really like virtuous by, saving America from, scary Donald Trump, even though no one can really spell out what the hell he's done and why he's so fucking scary. I think Donald Trump broke their brain. Donald Trump, embarrassed them as these elite. How dare we let him in our group, even though Donald Trump in a way is a part of the elitist group, but I guess because he doesn't talk like them, act like them, or peddle the same ideas as them, he's sort of an outsider in that way. But don't be mistaken, he's still a rich elite that might have a harder time knowing exactly what the working class needs. But I feel like he might be willing to listen more than others, even if it's just for his own ego. We saw this when I reacted to the critical race theory video, where Ryan Chapman went into very great detail about where the roots of critical race theory comes from, which, spoiler, it comes from Marxism. And Marxism is all about, the ends justify the means, right? Especially cultural Marxism, where it's like we have to do whatever it takes to get people to our side, right? To wake up to race consciousness, right? And so if that means we have to, when it comes to academia, if that means we have to bend the truth, kind of like, leave out some information, sort of color it in a certain way because we want you to see it our way, sort of create a sort of narrative. If that means we even have to just straight up lie to our students, that's what we will do, because the ends justify the means, because they feel like they're just better. I'm better than you, I know what's best, and if I have to sort of pervert the truth, if I have to pervert academia, if I have to pervert journalism and news, then that's what I just have to do, because I'm trying to save you, because I know it's better I'm better than you. It's the true like white savior complex. So I don't know if everything he was saying was true. I assume that is true from what I've seen and from what I know, and he's worked in journalism. Like he said, he comes from that class. He's worked with the New York Times. He would probably know better than most people. And so it's just sad when you can't trust the trusted media, right? The trusted media. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think of this video in the comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get the notification when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, you can donate. My PayPal link is in the description box below and sometimes in the comment section. Of course, it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. Another great way to support this channel is either join my brand new membership program, different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below, and links to all of the eternal platforms I'm on. My socials, including my Twitter, all the ways to support me and all the ways to contact me for business is always in the links down below. And if you like, you can super thanks. I also have a second travel vlog channel. I travel as a lifestyle, or I live abroad. If you'd like to know where I am in the world, you can go to the description box below and also in the comment section. Hit the link, go subscribe to my travel vlog channel, and or follow me on my travel Instagram. My storage is usually what's most up to date. And you guys have an amazing day.